Hey guys, it's a Sunday. How are you? In case you forgot who I am, it's Greg, Gamers with Coffee, or I answer to hey you sometimes, so that's all good too. It is a nice Sunday for once where I'm at. For once, it's a nice Sunday. Decent weather, windy, but we can deal with that. And overall, just so far so good. So it's been a good week for me. Hopefully it's been a good week for you guys. And it's pretty quiet in here because I got a new roof installed, which, you know, that's the adult thing you have to do, but so be it. And I see there's Keegan. Hello, person whose sniper can't hit crap. Yeah. Yeah, he can't hit crap, really. He's a terrible shot, my sniper. He doesn't do good. But then again, I'm the one rolling the dice, and for some reason, cannot get that guy to hit nothing. So that's just the way it goes, though. Yeah, you know, it is what it is, Keegan. Keegan's been busy. So I was going to show you guys a little bit of what he's been busy with. So you don't got to stare at my ugly face. But first of all, let me switch the camera over. He did a little bit of 3D printing, which is helping me out because I'm trying to rearrange some of my paints. So, you know, if you're working with GW stuff, you know how you got 5 or 7 specific paints to do just one model. So instead of trying to fumble through everything, he came up with a little print station he found. I told him, yeah, it looks good. Print it up. So he did. So let me show you because it actually helps quite a bit. So let's see here. I will switch the camera over. I think it's this one here. Yep, there you go. All right, so let's move these guys out of the way for a minute. And so here's the paint station he printed up, if you can see. I mean, pretty cool. They come out really smooth. I mean, you have some lines like you normally do with 3D printing, but look. So if you take the paints out, you know, it's a nice and clean print. And this is what it looks like without the paints. There. So, pretty nice. You can see it come out really good. And sideways. There's the back. This holds the brushes, obviously. So this little tray, this will help me out quite a bit with what I'm doing. And yeah, so can't really complain because for download it just costs a little bit of material, and it helps you out when you've got just specific paints for the models you're doing at the time. Now this is the other end. So I don't know if you guys can see this. So these are, oops, the neck run fell, which I'll show you in a minute here. So this is the other thing he printed, if you can see. It's kind of interesting. It sets with your pots, right? So the top of the lid sit right in that little groove there. So here's what you end up doing, see? Move this over here where you can see it. So just for reference, I put some pots in here, and you want another, you know, you want to add more. Then you just take one of these out and set it down, and it sets right on there. And so, boom, you can stack them. Oops, that's my fault there. Otherwise, they set just fine, and they stack just fine. And so you could stack them up and up and up as high as you want. And I think that'll work out pretty good. So these came out worthwhile and are going to help because I can keep the taller ones over here, like your, you know, whatever your tall pots are is what I'm going to do with these. And then just for what I'm using immediately on a couple different ones, I'm keeping handy. Now, this isn't big enough, obviously, for all your guys' paints. And hey, Dave, Mr. X, how are you doing, sir? glad you could stop by. Hopefully you're having fun out there in Canada. So this works out real well as a paint station. And once you get a 3D printer, I mean, there's so much to literally to choose from that it's impossible to figure it out. So, you take it from there. But that's where those are, and I think it works out very well. And hopefully, David, you're having a really, really good day. Is laundry fun? Yes, laundry is fun because then you can wear clean clothes. So, long as you got laundry done, you're good. Speaking of which, I am pretty happy with how my lieutenant come out. He's coming out pretty good, man. So, put a little bit of gloss on his shield. And I got the proper colors for the purity seals and such. But man, I'm really happy with how he come out. He got his little writing there on his chest plate. And yeah. So I wanted to show him off. This one's pretty much completed. For his eyes, they're pretty bright already, but I'm gonna add a touch of like varnish or gloss to them, just so they kind of pop out, and do a little bit more. This baby Necron, well, this is the Necron that came with it. I think I showed that. That's all completed there. Now here's one that I've been working on for Keegan, and that is this bigger Necron that McFarlane tried. I know Dave's seen it, but now it's coming along more. So we've got the claws done, in different colors, and the armor, and the piece of skin on him. I like how his bones come out in the back because it kind of looks like with the white underneath, it just looks like Necronish greeny bones coming out the back. So the legs were the hardest, trying to get that green to come through the gold. And then on the foot, I got a little bit of rust down there because this thing's all pitted. It's not quite done. Still got to do the whole pelvic area there on it, but it's almost done. And then when I'm done, I'm going to take some of that blood for the blood gods, maybe a toothpick, and let it run down, And then that'll be it. Then he'll be ready to go sit on his base and sit off the side of the table there. So I don't know. For a Necron, and I'm not a Necron player, I think my two Necrons are coming out pretty good. And just wanted to kind of show that one off. So yeah, there's the base for it. It's a pretty big base, really. So once that's done, he'll be sitting on the side. I got to get me a Space Marine. Well, hello, Taylor. How are you, sir? Thank you, Dave. It is starting to look good. I sent Dave some pictures there, and he didn't say it looked like crap, so I felt I was okay to to put it out there. I will tell you what. You guys know that channel Brush and Quill. He's a hell of a painter, especially on the historical stuff. He does phenomenal things. So you should check his channel out too, because I asked him for some advice on painting those Germanian horsemen I got, and wow, these guys here I haven't got to yet. But his advice was a lot, and so I'm grateful for people. You guys obviously are very helpful, and I appreciate that. And you're doing an Orthodox Easter, okay? As long as you're having fun. Well, not really all about the skin there, but yeah, the flayed ones are there, Keegan, right? So for him, he's carrying that piece over his face there just because he's creepy as hell. And in the top, I dyed it, but I'm not done yet because there's little rivets on there. So those are going to be colored up too, probably like a bronze, like a weapons bronze or something, a rivet that'll show out. And then that won't be the same as his gold though. But even on the back, I got the green to bleed through. So yeah, This skin thing is interesting. I don't know. They're kind of creepy, but I'm almost done. But putting a little bit of varnish on or a little bit of gloss, whatever you want to call it, seems to work really well on some of these. So that there is what's been done. But like I said, I'm super proud of my little lieutenant here. And that set that came with the magazine, it came with those two figures, so they're done. Other than I might do something with his base maybe, but they can now go, and I laminated the map that it came with, so now I've got a very miniature take it out and go game Warhammer, show people if they want this very simplified version, so it wouldn't it wouldn't pacify people who've been obviously doing it and got 2,000 and 3,000 point armies. But I wish it would have been something like that, a little simpler when I started, because once you get the base down, then you can understand the rest. But otherwise, it's a little bit different. So, but that's what we got going on there. Paint tray Keegan. This one's good. We need a bigger version of this one, but for right now, this is just perfect for whatever colors you're working with at the time. So say you're bouncing between two models, you've got the paints for them. Storing all of them in general that you have, no, that's not going to work. But absolutely, this was a good 3D printed thing, so that works pretty well. And I can switch this back. There you go. Now you can see my ugly face. But yeah, so far so good, you guys. And it's a Sunday, so I'm glad you guys were able to show up and join in. As long as you enjoy the day, Taylor, you're okay. Got my Gamers with Coffee shirt on, although it's a little big on me now. Yeah, I should turn it back to the other camera, huh? It's more fun to look at the miniatures. We got to get on this pile of, I've got to. Because the Russian T-80s, that's what we're going to build next. I think I told you guys there, yep. That we got those, Keegan got those from the auction. And what did you say there, Dave? Mr. Annex? Between rounds of laundry, you're building Death Guard. That, sir, is multitasking. You should be proud of yourself. And then onto your Space Marines. Well, that's okay. So you got an 8th edition starter set. That's all right. I mean, Death Guard are nasty, man. I mean, they're tough. They're tough. But hell, if you can do that in between rounds of laundry. See, this is where being a parent and a gamer pays off. Because as a parent, you're used to multitasking. But as a gamer, you can bounce between, I got to feed the kids, and while this is coming to a boil, I can put a layer on this, then I run back here and check this, and then you can do all sorts of things. So yeah. But there you go, David. You have a lot of things you're working on too. So we should do a show together sometime, Mr. Annex, just to get on there and chit chat. Either you can host it or I can. Don't matter to me. I think it'd just be kind of fun to hang out and chit chat about a few things. But we've been accomplishing a lot, and our gaming that we normally do from the coffee shop today was postponed kind of last minute. So next week, I think we're going to do one of two things for our game. If Keegan can get you got your American forces, right, Keegan, for Flames of War. And I got my German starter set. I remember I showed you guys a long time ago that box set that I got. So those have long since been done. They're just kind of sitting and crying and waiting to be used. So I think me and Keegan are going to go ahead and either next Sunday we'll either do a quick game of Kill Team. If not, we'll see if Clint's got his Tau done. If not, then we might fall back and do either Team Yankee or some Flames of War and bounce it around a bit. Just because gaming is gaming, and we can get the gaming in and get it going. So, but during the week, I don't know. I've got something I wanted to show you. A few of you have seen it, and a few of you haven't. So it's in my bag here. Which don't tell anybody. It's supposed to go to work. It was going to go to work and um, put it there at work. So I had my glue, and I got Keegan, and I had my little hobby set. But let's switch back over. I'm gonna see about getting this one. I was just thinking of just doing a live stream, just putting this together. I think David's seen it, but the rest of you haven't. It's from Tabletop Scenics. It's a 15 millimeter radar command tower. And so, I mean, this looks pretty good. It's MDF, obviously, but I've learned that you can work with MDF pretty good, especially if you primer it. You can do whatever you want with it, right? But I suggest primering the insides of the building and the insides because it is wood and it can swell a little bit with moisture. So I would personally just primer it all. But it's got a lot of pieces to it, I haven't opened it yet. I got this off eBay. I think with shipping and everything, it was $14. But this, I think, would make a hell of a fun objective because you've got a radar station. You can either defend it or take it or whatever you want to set for it. And some of those older radar stations are still in use today and haven't changed much in looks. They've just been upgraded. So you could use this too. And I would say you could use it in different areas for that also. So this is what I was just going to sit there and just do a little live stream and just chit chat today. But I ended up spending time with a baby. So, if I had to choose between the miniatures and the little girl, she's my more favorite little miniature. So I spent time with her. But that's okay. Kids grow. They're not always little. So I'd just assume take the time and spend it with her while I have it. You know what I mean? And so that will be one of them that we are going to do here. That's the next one. I did get some roads that came in. I want to show you that as long as I got the camera down. Hold on a second. These weren't expensive either, but I think I can duplicate these. Hold on. And so let me clarify. When I say duplicate, I mean not in a copyright infringement way. I mean just make something similar because there's ideas for it. So, put this out of the way here for a second. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. These came from overseas, but for the tanks, you might like this. See this? 4 of them came. Well, I think it was, again, about $12 or $14 for the shop, for the shipping and everything. But look at this. This looks to me like someone cut shingles, like roofing shingles, man, and then just glued down your hedgerows. So they lay flat. They're flexible, and there's 4 of them, which gives me plenty of road for the river crossing there. So we can have a river crossing with the roads. And yeah. What'd you say there, Taylor? Got to keep the boss happy. Yes, you do. That is for sure. Try to keep the boss happy anyways. That's all you can do. If not, then the boss leaves you alone. So you're all right. Show the rivers, Keegan says. First, let me catch up here. Hold on. So you got a few of your shoulders glued, all of them, Keegan, for your Flames of War, and some half tracks and Stewarts left. Okay. So yeah, I can switch back and show you the others if you want to see that. Hold on. That's what I like about this. At least I can go back and forth between the camera. Hold on a second. Switch it over. Move this out of the way. All this to me just adds to it, and I don't buy it all at once. Buy a piece at a time, here or there as you can, and it adds up. So here is what was interesting to me was a bridge. See how it's got the river, right? This bridge piece, though, it can be moved, so you could destroy it. It's flexible. It's like silicone. It's pre-painted for the moment. I mean, you can use it the way it is. So you can put it in there. You got your tank crossing. So I guess you could figure out rolling to destroy this. And if you destroy it, well, then you can remove it. And then the bridge is not. You're gonna have to. It's gonna be more of impassable terrain. But if you put this down here, that's where the road sections would come in off each side, right? And then the river sections are interesting, see? I mean, they're just going to set up there. So there you go. You got a river section this way. And of course, you would have, I'm just going to set up my keyboard and such. So, you'd have a river, and then you got, the other reason I got the roads is so you can cross the river, but this will go across your standard map. So you've got terrain that's more impassable. I mean, you're going to have to roll to go through it. And again, you can destroy the bridge. So these things like this, I think, just make the game fun. And I just slowly been adding to it, buy some here, buy some there, because, I mean, we all wish we could just go plunk down whatever, but I certainly can't. So I bought this section. I thought this is cool. I ordered just this. Well, I knew they had the river pieces, so I just saved it, for later. And then later I ordered the river pieces. And so now that I've got those, well, we're good to go. And I mean, if you look at them, it's got like the break in the water. I mean, it's not a bad paint job, really. It's plenty suitable for the table. You could always go over it, I guess, but I don't know. So I think between that and the tower, it gives you some options, most definitely. And where did my... Well, can't find my plastic bag. I just took these out. It must have fallen. So, yeah, you guys, those are some of the things that you'll start seeing more of when we do our games, because we had all of our own homemade terrain, too, which was cool. But sometimes it's just nice to kind of expand, and go out and do something else. So I just do it a piece at a time. Just 1 week, order something. 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, if I got another $15, I order something else. I don't really spend much more than that at a time, because I just don't got it. So it's easier to build it in increments like that, and so on. So there we go. So now it's taken a while to gather those pieces, but now we have a workable bridge and river system with roads that will go on some of our maps. At least now we have something we can change around a bit and make a difference on. So it does help out quite a bit. But there you go, you guys. There's some interesting stuff from us for what we've had going on, and Keegan's just printing away, man. So yeah, he's doing a good job on that. And he's got some other things. Well, hello, Mom. My mom showed up. You're glad to hear that I chose the baby girl over the others. Yeah, me too. I mean, we're talking miniatures, so she's a much cooler miniature than anything I got in a box. And I don't think, you can put babies on shelves. So, but she's pretty cute. I had got some fun time with her today a little bit, and got to enjoy them while they're little, because they grow really super quick, and then after that they're just not babies anymore. What can I say? Well, I like kids, but yeah, so that's a good thing there too. And yeah, I don't know, you guys. It's been a pretty good week that way. So good things happened, and yeah. In the world of gaming, can't say much. I know they're doing lots of changes on the Warhammer stuff, and I'm not completely caught up to date on that by any means. So I will tell you that I hope they figure it out, because it gets tiring to try to update stuff all the time. So I have had people ask, and we will do more videos from what Keegan got at the auction there. The only thing I got was those Germania Horsemen for $3 whole. Keegan basically cleared out the auction. So there's quite a bit left to show, and we can do small little videos of that too and get that going for you guys and get that up. And let's see. Modeling for Advantage, Kaiser and Johnny B. I try to keep up with them. They have a lot of good stuff to watch too. And I'll be on their show next month. I think I have to look and see. I can't remember the date. I know it's next month. It's the 7th or the 17th or something like that. So I'll be there. Now let's see if the UK allows me in. They may not. We'll have to see. So I'll be on their show with them. And that'll be fun because they're a good group of guys to hang out with. And they do quite a few unboxing videos. I pretty much run through the stuff I have. So as I get things, I'll unbox them too. But they have a fairly steady stream of it. So you can check their stuff out too. It's pretty cool. They're pretty good guys. Again, I just want to give a shout out to Brush and Quill. Man is master at this painting stuff. So I would check his channel out and, see how that goes. Otherwise, it's been fun. Hopefully everybody had a good holiday weekend last Sunday. We didn't do the show just because everybody was busy with their families, and you know what? It's family's more important to spend time with, because without your family, then really the rest of it just don't matter, does it? So we missed them, but otherwise we're back on track. We did get a video. If you haven't gone by our YouTube channel, swing by. I uploaded a video of me and Keegan from the road trip in Kansas City. We're just chit-chatting. There is a little bit of some crazy angles because Keegan was having fun with the camera, and then he farted in the car with the windows up, which was not fair. Not fair, Keegan. Not fair. And yeah. So there you go, you guys. That's our week in a nutshell. What have you guys been up to? Anything interesting other than doing laundry? And well, I know David's multitasking. Keegan had a bunch of running around to do. Clint's not here. Dee's not here. They're out at a local campground area running their RCs around. No, Taylor, I haven't. I was actually thinking of maybe giving him a call because it's not like him to just not be there. I did hear that he hasn't put the video up. I guess it didn't go very well. And so I'm not quite sure what he's doing, but I personally was going to try to give him a call today after the show and just, on the phone and see how he's doing, because he hasn't put up a video yet. So I don't think there's anything. From what little I understand is in a message he sent me when I asked him was basically there wasn't a lot of, like, they set up a table, but nobody really wanted to do. People were just table looking. Nobody was really gaming, which is kind of odd. Usually at game shows, there's usually a table of some kind going. Now I'm not saying every single table will be busy, but most definitely there's usually some game going on and people. So I'll have to get a hold of them and see what I can find out there, Taylor. And I'll let you know too, because I'll send you a message and let you know what I find out. So otherwise I haven't seen. He did a pretty good video with one of the owners there, or one of the other gaming guys. He just put that video up, and man, now my brain is taking a dive on me. But he got that up, and so I would check that out if you want. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're there, Taylor, too. You got some interesting things you do in your table setup, so you guys should check out Taylor's channel too. Yeah, especially on Instagram, he posts stuff, and I try to follow you there too, Taylor. So yeah, a lot of you guys, a lot of times I can't see live shows, especially if I'm working, but I try to catch up on them afterwards. at least leave comments, because I know comments and thumbs up and all that, that's important to YouTube. YouTube needs that. Oh, your format's going to change, Taylor? That's cool. You could tell us what your format's going to change to if you want, or when you get ready to change, let us all know. That's okay, though. All you got to do is try one thing. If it doesn't work, try another. If it doesn't work, drink some coffee, man. And Keegan is going to try to... Oh, you do have a hex mark destroyer, don't you? And you're going to get them assembled today and painted? Don't glue your fingers to the model again, Keegan. That's harder to finish them that way. But yes, if you can get him done, that'd be good, because then we can do some Warhammer with... I've been wanting my Space Marines to kind of get into it with your Necrons there, other than Kill Team, which, don't get me wrong, you guys, I enjoy Kill Team. I think Kill Team is a very quick, easy Warhammer type of game, and it does not take forever. Oh, yours doesn't need glue. You got the newbie model ones, right? The push-togethers. Push-togethers are okay, but they don't... If you have to take them apart, to paint or something and put them back, after I get it to where I want it, I just put little bits of glue in there anyway, so they don't come undone. Okay, so Taylor, you're going to post an occasional gaming video? You mean like video gaming? Then that will work too. Yeah, you may as well. We did for a while, and then when that whole thing with YouTube came down, I restructured the channel, and I pulled like 80-something videos off way back. So the ones I have up there now are not the ones I originally had, because I removed those because of that whole thing with their insanity and trying to, push it onto the creator. So just to make sure I was compliant, I just removed all that stuff and just started over. We can put some gaming videos, but I don't generally have... Like, my problem is I have X amount of time, right? So if I choose to do a video gaming, I could run it through, laptop and a capture card and do all that, which is what we did set up to do. And hello, Facebook user who says, hi, Greg. I'm sorry, it doesn't tell me who you are, but hello back. I hope you're doing good there. It just says Facebook user. I'm sorry. I really doesn't tell me who it is. But whoever, I'm glad that you stopped by and said hi. Facebook's kind of interesting. I almost get not too many people jump in on these live ones, but then they'll watch it when it's done. I don't get that. Oh, well, hello, Nikki. How are you? I'm glad you joined. This is what I do, Nikki, on Sundays. Is because you guys, I know Nikki from work. She was a awesome coworker. But this is what we do. Our Gamers with Coffee thing is we talk about babies. We already covered that because they're our favorite miniatures, and then we just talk about the show we went to in Kansas City, and yeah, here we are now, and then we drink coffee or whatever else. So, well, I'm glad you stopped by, Nikki. Yeah. So it's been a fun week, you guys. I mean, these things over here, like I said, I'm working on that I showed you earlier. Again, I'm going to show that paint station up in case you didn't see that, but this works. Keegan did a good job, so Keegan, you're going to have to print me another one of these, man, for the paints. Just one more, because I don't need a bunch of them, but when you're doing things like these guys and you're painting two different ones and you've got all these colors on them, then having what you need right there to paint comes out good. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So that's what 3D printing does. And then I'll go back to my face. I know Keegan says he goes, Greg, you're too ugly for video. I said, I know. So I got the ugly lens from Wish for 99 cents, and I put it on the camera, so it should filter some of it down. Hopefully I don't scare you guys off or anything, but it all works. And Keegan says he has top secret dice towers printing. Well, so we know they're dice towers, but we don't know what. So we'll just wait. And no, Keegan doesn't inform me of everything he prints, which is probably a good thing because maybe I don't want to know on some of the stuff. But you're going to give us a clue, huh, Keegan? One is blue and one is pink. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Your idea to help me out, Keegan, is to have an 11-year-old do makeup for me. I guess it wouldn't hurt. I don't wear makeup, but what the hell? I guess it probably wouldn't hurt, right? So it's all good. Got to have some fun in life, so it's good. It's good. But yeah, it's been a fun week. So when we get to go to these other shows, we got a few more we're looking at to do. And then I'm going to do some more live streaming of like putting these things together. And that way, because I got people in the Facebook group that have asked, they'll send me emails. Here's what I don't get. Why? You guys can ask me in group chats too and stuff, but I'll get an email or a message through the main, Gamers with Coffee page, which is okay. But I try to answer some of those so as best I can. And I know you guys are interested in how are some of these put together. Now, David from Axanix there, he's done a lot of putting tanks together on video. I have not done all that on video yet. I'm going to put those T80s together just to answer some questions, but he has a pretty good library of stuff. He just sits there and builds and chit chats while he's doing it, which is, I think, really good. What did you miss, David? You missed me plugging your channel for a moment so that if people want to see a lot of tanks being built, I referred them to you because you have a good library. I mean, I'll do a live stream and chit chat and put some together, but you do quite a bit of that. So I just plugged your channel for you. That's what you missed. And I don't have head glare to it well off that light above me, so yeah. Yeah, it's a catastrophe. You're right there, Taylor. But no. So because David, you've done so many of those, I just think you're a good reference for people to watch. I can build some too. Mine's just been other stuff, and I will, because that box that Keegan got. I mean, I think, what did you pay? Keegan was $15 for the Brandon Boys and Chanko's Bears, so like $210 worth of box sets you got for $15, and they're complete. There's nothing missing. So, the majority of laundry is done, and the countdown to Dairy Queen begins. Hey, gonna go get some ice cream then? We have Dairy Queens out here too. So, yep, go get yourself a sundae or do something. Yeah, it was $15, wasn't it, Keegan? But I mean, that's somebody just left a comment too about that on one of our videos. So yes, I will do a short go through of what that was. So maybe it'll be a minute or two, but you'll see how much it was, and I don't know what to say. It's a deal. Oh, awesome, Dave. So your friend gave you the Russian half for your birthday. See, that is awesome. That is cool. And that should go along with your helicopter you have too, huh? So you should be doing okay then. And yeah, that is Keegan's right there, man. That's a score for you. And to anybody listening, that Team Yankees starter set, like, you cannot beat what you're getting for $50. I mean, insanity would be to not buy it, because if you were to buy the things individually, you're just going to spend way more. So that $50 is way, way, way worth it. And so, Mr. Annex, you're saying Harry of Fog of War is the best at tank assembly. Okay, well, we'll plug his channel too. I'm not familiar with his, but hey, I just kind of referred people to you because we don't do that all the time. I'm going to do one because it's, I've been asked to do it. So, but I don't have a library of tank assembly videos. Mainly because when we got them, we were so excited in the beginning. Woo, we just whipped through and started building stuff, So I did a little clip of my Team Yankee Army, but I think that was a long time ago. So I'll have to do another one, an updated one, because I've got a few more things. And so, Dave, you say you're the best at live stream. Oh, but it belongs to Herbert. Okay. Well, I don't know. You're pretty good there, Dave, and you're a good personality, so people will sit and watch too. Taylor, Battlefront. Yes, I like Battlefront miniatures. Battlefront is absolutely good stuff. They make good stuff. I mean, a lot of the companies we use make good stuff. Really, if you're going to spend money, you're going to spend money anyways. Some things are getting pricey, but everything's getting pricey. Food's getting pricey. I mean, at this point, everything is going up, and it's going to continue to go up. All the financial people have stayed. I see that on the news broadcast still from the last job I had before this current one. I was hooked up like with AP Wire and stuff. So because I was working for a media company, and there's a lot of news going on. You guys really should look beyond and check a few things out. Just saying, but you'll see where prices are going up everywhere. So it isn't just our gaming hobby that's getting hammered, man. It's everything. And hopefully Dairy Queen is still cheap. Yeah, I don't know, man. You'll have to see. I know things have gone up considerably. So, and sometimes shipping is where they get you. Battlefront, Taylor says, treats their employees decent. I believe that. So I like both of theirs now with GW. I know people complain back and forth, left or right, either way. Their miniatures are highly detailed and they're pretty solid, so I can't complain about it. Now, if Taylor says they find the cheapest producers, probably most companies will find the cheapest way to produce something in order to maximize the profit off anything they sell. So yeah, probably. I look at it this way. I look at the quality. Did I get quality for it? Yes. Should there be more? I think so. I think it's hard to do 30 or $35 for 3 or 5 miniatures. If you're getting 10 or something, then sure. But and some of these, that's where some of these kill team boxes are going to come in handy, because like the Tau kill team box with the Rangers, I think it's 10 or 13. So I'm sorry, I can't remember what was on the box, but it's like a good handful of miniatures. So I'm just using that as an example. So you can get some good deals on box sets. You can also find some. A lot of times people are falling on hard times, man. All of us are having it hard, and some people are having it harder than the rest of us. So then they have to sell things like their miniatures. Now, that can be good for you, and I would hate to see people have to be in a bind where they sell them. But if you buy it, then at least you're picking up miniatures because you like the hobby. You're going to care about them. They're not just going to be bought by someone who doesn't care, but that gives you the opportunity to possibly get a good deal too. You see what I'm saying? So they go to a good home, you get a good price, and the person selling them is helped out. You got, holy crap, let me put this up there. So you got 60 of Germanic Warriors for $40. Yeah, I think somebody mismarked that, man. I would say. If not, then I would buy another box if you think it's mismarked. If you can, because look around. If it's retailing for 70 or $80 Canadian, you got it for 40. I can go get another one and hold on to it and then sell it for $10 more or something. But yeah, that's a deal, man. Well, I wanted to get into this historic type of gaming, like I told you. So when I seen those the SPQR box for $1. I was like, okay, I'll bid $3, and I won $3. And it's 28 to 35, depending on where you buy it. So I got the box for $3. I think that was a hell of a savings, and it got me my foot into it. Now, I'm not used to painting horses. Okay, so Brush and Quill does a fantastic job of that, and so I asked him for his advice on one of his videos, and there's quite a bit to painting a horse, man. There's some layers on that, and so it'll give me something to practice on and to start to see if I want to go that route, because I mean, I can't lose, right? And oh, hey, hello, Mythos, how are you? Mythos is here from Frost and Fist. He always says hello there, beautiful people. Thank you, Mythos. I knew deep down I had the possibility of being beautiful, but Keegan's always telling me I'm not, so I go with that. But Brush and Quill, he's done some really amazing work on. I know he's not here. No, he's not paying me to plug him. He just does damn good work on these historical miniatures, and his choice of colors are always on par with that. So he gave me some advice back today, and I'm going to try it, but I'm going to have to go get like 3 or 4 more paints I don't have, because I don't have anything to paint horses. Keegan says hello, Mythos, and so does David. Okay, so what'd you say there, David? Both mark 5 leagues from Borderlands. Frostgrave and like very handy, usually good prices. Yes. On games where you can do that, for sure, you may as well. Like, crap, I think I showed you guys. Where is it? I don't know. It's a Reaper miniature. And I had him. I showed him on the last show because I just did pick him up. And I don't know where he's at on my table here. Gee, I got to go through and clean my table up a little better. But anyways, he's a little cowboy guy with multiple weapons on him. And he was like $2. So there you go. Right there is a miniature. Now it's going to have to go with whatever game rules you're going to use. You know what I mean? But me and Minnie Wormwood are supposed to do a Western themed kind of fight. And so I've got the Western figures I bought from Wiley Games when I was out there in Missouri. And they had some nice stuff at their booth, so I spent money with them. And those will work. And I can see those using not just with their rules, but with other rules too, because, they're of the theme, and you pretty much can, you guys know what I mean. I don't have to explain it. Minnie Wormwood, hello, sir. I was just talking about you. And you just got back from golfing? You go golfing? All right. Nice. The last time I went golfing, it was miniature golf. So I don't think that counts in the golfing world, man. But miniature golf, that's something I could do that I like. That's fun. Taylor and Dave Annex are saying hello there, Brian. They're all saying hello. I was just talking about me and you going to do a Western game here at some point down the road. Because Brian with Mini Wormwood, he's got a ton of, well, I don't know if it's a ton, but he has some really cool Western stuff. He was showing us a table one day. And Mini Wormwood does excellent also on that. So, the table will look good. And I've got some Western figures. So one of them, too, I've been working on. Clint gave me. And I'm just working on him. Let me switch the other camera over. I just started digging around with him last night. And mainly because, man, I get oddball times to paint. Sometimes when you sit down at 11:30 or something at night, you're not so much. But this was just a metal little pewter. I'm not done, obviously. I got a long way to go. But I just started working with it on it and getting it going, and he's got this cloak. It looks like he's got handcuffs, a bandolier of some sort, but mostly he's got a sniper rifle. And so working on that. And he can be put in any game, so he's just one of the little dudes I've been working on, and we'll see what comes out of that. Um, but yeah, so just finishing up, like I said, my little oddball pieces because that's what I gotta do anyways. And what was I gonna say there? Yeah, I don't know. I really wish I could find that little piece I have out, but he's buried here somewhere in all this table, which I'm going through. But yeah. So let's see there. I'm sorry. What'd you say there, Mini Wormut? In the chat, I had my head turned. You said, okay. So next month we'll do a shootout, he says, at a mining camp. Oh, that'd be a cool background for it. Mining camp. All right. And David, wow, that's a lot. So you like the look there, huh? From Dead Man's Handy. I'll have to look into that and see. So some of the Western stuff, it's just that there's so many figures available out there that that's where the Wiley's Game rulebook will come in great for them too. So any of those rule books where you can add it for your figure, I think is going to work good, and it allows you to buy your own figures. And so for me, it just was a lot of effort to do these others and get them done and up to par because I don't want to halfway do it. So I'll get him painted, and then I got quite a few of these other ones still to do. But yeah, whenever you want to do that, Mini Wormut, I think that'll be fun. And that'll give me some time to get painting on those guys. I mean, I can play without them being painted, but it just, it kind of digs at me. I don't mean it in a bad way. Like tabletop miniatures are designed to just be played with the tabletop and nothing else. But I prefer them painted and then, a map and terrain and all that if possible. Or I'll just plain Jane them and put them out there. But I don't know. I just would prefer to paint them. It doesn't have to be done. I'm not someone that believes, that you have to have your miniature painted to play because the point of playing is to play. So it's just me personally. That's all. But yeah, so that finished up pretty much my Warhammer guys and that set. And then, like I showed you earlier, the paint things that Keegan's printed up for me. And then now I'm moving on to going to start painting those miniatures I got out there in Missouri because I got 5 of them. So I have a group and get working on them. I don't know, this guy here, because Clint gave to me, I don't even know where it came from or what it is. It's just a metal figure, punk style with a mesh of an old style sniper rifle mixed with it's just like a steampunk kind of cowboy thing. So I think he'll be good for a sniper in one of the games. And that's how I'll use him. Hopefully he can roll better than my other one for Warhammer because that guy can't hit nothing. Yeah. So there we go. And we should try to get all of us in, you guys, like Dave, Mr. Annex, Taylor. This thing's capable of doing 3 and 4 people on the screen. We could all maybe try to find a time that works for everybody. With Mini Wormut, it's just working around his tacos. Once he's had his tacos or his food, he's good. So we just have to work around that. And now golfing, I guess. But that will be cool. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. And yeah, but it's been a good week for us miniature-wise. Getting things done is always good. Everybody talks about their pile they got to get through. Actually, I'm going through mine at a fairly steady rate, and things I haven't had a chance to do for a long time, I've got caught up. Once I get some of these out of the way, my goal here before the end of summer is I got a lot of Star Wars X-Wing stuff. So I'm going to go through, upgrade them, and what's not upgradable, I'm going to go ahead and sell off and condense it, and then have all the newer X-Wing, updates, rules, and whatnot. And that way it's current. And then I've condensed it down to just a squad or something I can fight with. So there's a couple things game-wise I'm just trying to tidy up. and talked about it for a while. Now I'm able to be doing it. So that makes me a happy camper. But yeah, looks like we're. Oh, Taylor had to go. I didn't see that. And Mini Warma had to go. This thing just updated. All right, so I'm glad they stopped by. And yeah, Dave, why not? I mean, why not? Why not? I would love to game with you, sir. I think it would be fun. And we could have Keegan in there too somewhere or whatever. But I think there's no reason why we couldn't do it. None of us are going to sit there and, you know, cheat or do anything else on a game. So why not? And either me or Mini Warmut can do it with what the program we pay for. So either way, it doesn't matter to me who runs it. I mean, honestly, who hosts it or whatever. But it's easily done. And it looks like everybody's dropping off probably because it's getting towards dinner time there. And yeah, this thing, it took a second to update. Is it gaming if you don't cheat? Yeah, I guess so. Should be. I look at gaming like this. You guys have listened to me say it before, and I'll say it again. So, of course, just like everybody, I'd like to win a game. But to me, that's not the reason I game. I don't sit down going, I have to win this game. I sit down and go, let's have fun. If I lose, I lose. But I got to game. So to me, it's spending time with my friends or family, or it's that aspect of it. And winning is always nice. I mean, who doesn't like to win? Everybody does. But it's not the most important thing, out there. And Mythos, you're okay, man. If you're driving, I certainly don't want you to do anything that would, cause a problem or an accident for you. So I appreciate you being there. You don't do anything to get you in trouble there. So you don't ever have to apologize. I know you're there. So I appreciate that. That's good. And by the way, your coffee cup, I've been giving it lots of use too, man. So, yeah. And I'm going to get one from one of these other guys out there too. I try to support people as I can here and there. And yeah, why not? I drink coffee, so coffee cups are a good thing. But we should get a game going there. And then, yeah. And like today, I guess I could have done more. I was thinking, well, Clint and D went to go do RCs and stuff kind of last minute. And I thought, well, if we're not going to game at the coffee shop, maybe I'll do this or that. And I ended up goofing off with my granddaughter. So that's okay, too, because she's a miniature right now. And she'll grow up. She'll be a gamer. We'll get her to game. Her dad likes the game and her mom likes the game. So there you go. It should all work out good. And got to have some fun. And Mythos, one of these days, I got to get you back on here too. Or Freak. I can't answer these questions, Mythos, about the breeding program. People, talk about that offline, by the way. Not just in your guys' show, which is kind of cool. You guys started something that's kind of spread to the community. A little bit of notoriety. So, yeah. Yes. So I made a little video. Did you see that there, David? And I posted it up, and people say, Greg, what's your favorite miniature? So I scanned my table and I said, here's the miniatures I'm working on, but I was holding a baby in my arms. So then I said, well, let me adjust the camera. Here's my favorite miniature. And I held it, pointed it at her. So I put that up on TikTok. It's a little quick second one. And I think I put it on Instagram too. But yeah, I did that, and I kind of showcased her, and I said, this is my favorite miniature. So sometimes I get goofy. I'm sorry. It happens. It's just going to happen. And yeah, playing with her was a blast. Plus, at 1 month old, she's at the point where she's active, and alert and wants to engage with you, and smiles and makes noises and yeah, all the fun stuff. All the fun stuff. So yeah, check it out. The view helps, but I think as a parent you might like it. It was just I don't think people were expecting to have her in there because I didn't say anything about there being a baby in it. Because like I said, people keep saying, "What's your favorite miniatures?" I just like miniatures in general, man. I mean, there isn't. They could go from the Warhammer ones we have there, to tanks. I mean, to whatever. But the baby, she's the best miniature. She won't be a miniature for very long, though. So it's all good. Yeah, if you want to check it out, that'd be cool. Check it out. See what you think. And the Black Templars. Oof. That white, what is that, Euthurian gray? I don't like that paint. So it doesn't work for me very well. So I'm doing the best I can, but it's just not coming out the way I want. Let me show you that. So it's because it's like a chalky, I don't know. I think I will do some more Black Templars, but with the red shoulder pads like I see. So here's the little guy. Let me see if I can get it up closer. All right. So this Black Templar almost looks blue, but that's the black contrast. So now the sword and stuff, and none of it's been shaded or anything. But this white, it looks chalky. Like I did the shield. I'm not done with the shield, obviously. But trying to get it to flow right up into the seams is crazy hard. And then look at the back. I don't really care for it on the back. I added some gold because I don't know if it'll show it in the way the light is, but it's just chalky looking. Like it dries looking crappy. So I gotta find a different paint other than what they suggest. Oh, gray sear. Okay, let me see something. I'm sorry, Mythos. I just seen that while I was looking at it. So gray sear. Okay, I will try to do that because this is this stuff that they say you're supposed to use on it right here. Wolfen gray or whatever it is. But I'm telling you, this stuff does not flow when you paint with it. It paints like someone ground up chalk in it. Now, I've never had that problem with any GW paint, any Citadel paints ever. And I like the color, but one of the guys said mix it with a medium. So I'm going to have to because the shield will look badass with that off bone white in the background, but I just feel like, the black contrast paint is, okay, so here's what I'm using for the Templars. The contrast black Templar paint. So it is like the Ultramarines, contrast built in, which I wanted to try because you can paint them just straight Abaddon black and then go over it because I've got the Dark Reaper paint, which I like because that's the sword casing. So it's an off blackish blue. And it works good to highlight some of their stuff, like his robe is not black and it's not Ultramarines blue, it's that Dark Reaper. So it works good on a lot of things, but this just looks like chalk. And I don't like the way it looks on the shoulder, man. I know you can't see that well in there. So I'm gonna have to go see if I can find that. Because I love their paint schemes when you look at them, and there's a lot of this, like Ironbreaker and stuff. This looks really good in there. And the crevices up close, stuff that the camera can't show. This is some brown leather paint that I have from, I think that was an Army Painter. Yeah, it's Army Painter leather brown. So it's an old school kind of leather brown for the holster. But yeah, I just was disappointed. So I'll have to maybe see if I can try buying some of that gray sear because that actually write that down so I don't forget, man. And see if they have that at the hobby store next week, because every other week or so I go down and I just try to pick up some paints here and there. Um, yeah, so Mr. Annex, yes. It is. I like I said, I've never had a complaint really about the Citadel paints. I like the fact that actually some people complain that they dry a little fast, but I kind of like that because if you've got a bunch to paint and you do 3 or 4 and you go back, the first one's already dry, so you can start doing other painting. It's a downfall, obviously, if you leave the paint pots open. Uh, like me, I forgot one day I put it down, it didn't quite close, and then air gets in. I guess the only thing I could say is like your Nolan oil or the shades, they're tall. So if you bump the pot, when it spills, that stuff's going to run like a flood. But otherwise, I'm just trying to do something. So I offset him with a little gold, but see the difference that Dark Reaper makes. It's a darkish kind of blue, and that'll work. But man, it's like I got to go over this whole thing again. And yeah, so I'll stop complaining about the shield. It just doesn't want to flow in around the edges and hit that seam like the other paints do. So I will have to look at doing it up, because you look at that shield and then you compare it to this sucker. I mean, this just came out way friggin' better, and even the back side was, able to be highlighted. So with them, I want the stuff to stand out like this one is, and that's me, I guess, trying to get that paint scheme down. Oh, okay. So you add 3 milliliters of medium and a few drops of paint retarder. Okay. I was, someone said, I can't remember who said it. They told me to get some medium. Now, Citadel sells a bottle about this size of medium, but I'm thinking I'm going to spend $7, $8 on something like this, and I'm going to use a couple drops and probably not. I mean, because it shouldn't take too much medium to the whole bottle. Maybe try reshaking it, put it on my professional shaker as a nail polish shaker, man. It does a hell of a job. So, um, I could try that, but I kind of didn't want to spend that kind of money on medium when I'm not going to be using a lot of it. And but see, look at that Dark Reaper. Let me show you on my Lieutenant. See what I did with this gun? I put some of it right there, so it come out really well in person. So I think that would be pretty cool, to be honest with you. So I'll give that a shot. I guess I'm just gonna have to break down and buy it. I don't have like a box set of Black Templars. I only got 5 in this guy, this Lieutenant, to lead them. But it's like I want him to do justice and paint them right. So you suggest the matte medium? Okay, because that's not a gloss. That gray, it's like a bone. It reminds me of antique white. It's like a bone white paint, so it's not straight bright white. It's an off white, and it does not spread well, and just not happy at all with it. So I guess what I can do is, I can get some medium and try that and see how that works, because that might be the best thing to do. Oh, so yours is artist medium? Okay. Yeah, I don't haven't airbrushed anything yet. I'm still just brushing everything on by hand, but yeah, I'll probably just have to get a pot of it. But I guess then Citadel makes it and then add it to their paint. Hopefully it'll thin it out and I can try it again. But if not, then um, I'd have to find a different substitute paint that will fit the color scheme somewhat. But yeah. And yeah, transferring them to droppers, Dave. A lot of people have told me they do that too. So you can. I don't have a problem with using the pot because it's not going to sit open for hours. You know what I mean? It's just going to be there for a little bit. Like this guy doesn't take hours to paint. You know, it took a little bit and let it dry, and a little bit, then let it dry, and so on. But acrylic floor polish. Um, hmm. I don't. I don't care if there's a gloss in it. I mean, you know, because it'd be their shoulder pads and the shield primarily. So a little gloss would just kind of, to me, maybe show off the model a bit more. Um, I was just super unhappy with how it was, how, like I said, how you apply it and how it dried, and just everything about it was very, very disappointing. Um, um, Pledge furniture, yeah, that's cheap too. Yeah, I know. You hated pots. That's cool. I mean, I don't hate them. It's something different to get used to for me. But I do like Vallejo paints, which I use a lot for my armor. You know, and my World War II stuff. An Army painter is good too, like on some of them. But like I told you before, I made my own homemade terrain and this and that, and so it depends on what I'm painting is what I'm using. I mean, Warhammer stuff, I'm going to try to use the Citadel paints and try to match their paint scheme if I can. But I also use them on other things. And here's a color I really like too is, um, and this is Army Painter, uh, the weapon bronze. And it really is a nice effect on things. So it just depends. And I've got Reaper miniature paint, the MS Bones paints. Um, and so they have good paints too, like this Dragon Bronze. So Reaper miniature paints, you guys, is very, very good paint too. And I've had good success with that. So I think it's just kind of whatever you want to use with whatever you're doing. And that's how that works. I finally got some of this the snow texture, because Citadel, one thing I learned with them that I like is these bigger pots of it's like the debris or mud or different textures that you just brush on the base, because you could old school it and put some glue down and drop sand and then paint that and then, you know, go over it with a brown wash or whatever color you want to use. But this stuff is quick. You can put it on and like I'm going to test this on a few things, because here's what I want to do. I want to get World War II, because I play the Germans for World War II and Keegan's got the Americans and such. So I'd like to get a winter themed set. If you've ever seen any of them, you know. Oh yeah, go back and do laundry, man. I get that. You got to do laundry. And Reaper paints are very nice. They're pretty good paints, you guys. Like David here is saying, "Oops, that's the wrong one." But yeah, Reaper paints are good paints. I mean, again, it's just what you want to paint with. I mean, that's why I got different paints depending on what I'm painting. I mean, it depends on what you're gonna do. Look, I mean, depends on how detailed you want to go. Look at this tank that I got. You know, this is a World War II German tank, and we got that at the auction. But look at the detail somebody put on this thing, right down to putting the decals on and then putting on like camouflage, you know. And you can see where there's shading and different things and worn metal on the tracks. And so, you know, I'm sure they use different paints for that. And this was a very nicely done. Matter of fact, got 3 of them, which look pretty cool. And I'm going to use those when I game 2, and they're heavy metal ones. So depends on what you're going to paint, right? And the Black Templars, again, I really like the color scheme, but boy, I'm having a trouble painting it. So it's just what I got to get used to, and so on. But yeah, it's all good, you guys. Just pick the paint that you like to pick. I'm gonna switch this camera back and use that. Use the paint you like for the miniature that you're painting. That's all you can do. I mean, you got to enjoy it. You got to use it. I mean, like I said, not being rich has taught me. You can't go buy. I'm not saying I wouldn't. If you have the money, then do it, because you can get these big paint sets, $300-$400. You know, that's like all the colors and such from the company. But I don't. So I just go get 2 paints, maybe every other week or something, and I just kind of build up my arsenal of paints and textures, and get the ones that I know I'm going to use for the factions that I'm playing or the things that I need to paint. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty good. But I will try that out, Mythos, that Grace here. Next time I go to the hobby shop, I'll grab some of that. Maybe I'll try that on, because I have the sprue, you know, that I primered it all. First, I primered the whole thing with gray, and then I start trying to work on this stuff while it's on the sprue. That's just me, because it's easier to get the chest pieces for me and for that. But boy, I just don't want to use that white no more. So I think I'll try that, put them on the sprue, and if that works, then I'll do my best to salvage this lieutenant and take it from there. But otherwise, that contrast, Black Templar contrast, came out really good, especially on the sprue. Really, really nice. But I didn't want to go any further with that until I got this situation for that shoulder pads done. So there you go, you guys. That's where I'm at with my stuff for the week. And I hope you guys' stuff is doing. Oh, well, thank you. Mythos says I can do it. I know I can. I just have to work around it. And I will try that other paint. In worst case scenario, I guess I can repaint that one and go over it, because it's nowhere near done. It's just beginning to start on that one. But my concern is the shield, because it's a big showpiece on the model, you know. And yes, the Black Templar contrast, Mythos, was worth me buying it. When I painted them, it just come out nice and shaded and done. And I just like the Ultramarines contrast, it saves me that step, and I like it. Now, if you continue to keep using it and going over and over and over stuff, then it darkens up. But if you're mostly doing things on the sprue, I mean, once you cut it off the sprue, obviously you got little pieces to file, and you might have little pinpoints where you're going to take a brush to, but it isn't going to alter how it looks. If you have to repaint over things, then it will darken it. But if that's it, then Dave says, my Smurfs look good. I'm glad, because, you know, the lieutenant might be one of the Papa Smurfs, you know, so I want him to look good when you filled him on the table. And I'm really proud of the way this one came out. It really, really come out good. But I think the other will be just fine. I'll try Mythos idea, and I'll just grab that other paint. If not, then I'll have to go buy some of that medium, because I like the Black Templar look, and so I would like to expand a little bit in that direction. Because if Keegan goes and buys another set on his Necrons like he's planning on doing, it's kind of dumb for him to spend $50 to get 10 Necrons when he can spend $50 and get 11 or 13 of them, plus, you know, 5 Space Marines plus terrain, dice, and everything else. It makes no sense. So he's going to buy another one of those boxes, and he's just giving me the Marines. Then I'll just turn them into Black Templars. My next thing I have to do is I have yet to find some decals for them, so I just got to find some on eBay or something and order the decals is all I've got to do. But the Imperium subscription, I liked it, and I would do it. But right now my money's pretty tight. So the first copy I got, I mean, the first one's where that Lieutenant and that little Necron come from, right? So just $7 for one magazine, and you got those two models, a Primaris Lieutenant and a Necron, some kind of Lord. So he's not just your run-of-the-mill dude. And it came with, dice and a ruler, and a map. I mean, for $7. So it was a phenomenal deal. And then it goes up from there. But if you do the subscription, you're getting 4 packages at once. And then I would like to. I just, at this point, it's just an expense I kind of have to wait on for a little bit. I got a few other things I got to take care of. And I want to maintain what I have. But I would like to get the subscription. I think if you can afford it, why not? Because when you're done with it, you've built an army, you've built terrain, you've gotten paint, you've gotten brushes, you've gotten to learn how the game goes, and you're, for somebody just starting out, I think it's immensely helpful. But I thought the value in it it's a no-brainer for at least the first issue. I mean, you're going to spend more than $7 in this hobby, so hell yeah. So down the road, yes, sir, I will try to get that subscription because I think that would be way worth it. Yeah, I know I can opt out of, you could start it at a different thing, but if I did it, I would do it from the beginning again and just keep the number 1 issue, just the number 1 sealed up because I already opened one of them. If I'm going to pay for the subscription, but you're right, I could opt out of it and start with the number 2 and go forward. But yeah, I think you get, it's GW stuff. Everything of theirs is a little bit pricey, but then again, if you're doing it, you're doing it. I mean, it's all pricey. Some's just more pricier than others. But yeah, I'm so far doing pretty good on this stuff, and I've got a lot caught up and done. Those other Marines you guys said look good with the 2 different blues, like the plasma rifles, they came out really nice, and a little bit shiny too. And so actually, here, Dave, I'll show you this one real quick. Let me set the camera over. I don't know if Mito's seen it or not, but I'll show you before we end this here. Give me a second. No, it's the wrong camera. There we go. Hold on. All right, so here you go. These are the little blue guys that I redone. I went over them and redid them. So I highlighted their kneecaps there, and but the plasma rifles, I've got that light blue plasma, and then I put a little bit of gloss on them. Not sure if I can. Yeah. So I just highlighted some of the stuff because these were older models, so I just redid them basically, shined them up a bit. And so for a squad of 5, I got the sergeant, and then I got 4 of his cronies here. And I redid their eyes with some brighter red. But a lot of people told me they like it, so I'm kind of proud of it because I thought, well, how can I make that plasma look like that? And it's one of the paints we had sitting there, and I was like, I painted it, so then they just they come out looking better than I thought. So there's a group of 5 of these guys, and yeah, But I think the gold highlights on them, on their armor, help them just stand out a little bit more. And then see what I did is I put some gloss on it. So see the shine there? So that on the table, oh, thank you, Mythos. Yeah, so what I did is I've got a clear bottle of gloss that I was using for when I painted the helicopter windshields, for like Team Yankee. When you do the glass effect, you got to put a little gloss on there so it looks like glass. So I took that gloss and applied it to the plasma part of the rifles and then to some of their armor. And like here on his, you can't really see it so much, but his purity seal, that little chrome red, when you drop a little bead of that gloss on there, holy crap, it shines. So now you can see his seal on there real well, at least up in, I don't know how well you can see it on this. But in the back, see just little drops of like the Romans had the armor that come down. That kind of what that reminds me of. So I painted it gold. Old Roman soldiers had those armor plates in the back. And since he's a sergeant, he's got more highlights on the armor. But they look pretty good. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And they are a little brighter because I just kind of dressed them up. But like I said, see, and then I applied gloss like this, Mythos, if you can see on the shield of his shield there. So that, I just thought, okay, now I've got a new thing I'm going to do on my shields because it just makes them kind of pop out a bit and gloss up the skulls a little that are on their swords and their armor, but not the whole model, just highlights on it. You know what I mean? So they come out looking pretty good that way. When they're down, so from an overview, they come out looking fairly good. So next thing I got to do with them is just put a little gloss on their eyes. That's just because I want the eyes to stand out, and that's what I found helps me. I'm not a professional by any means, but I do like the way these guys came out. So when I filled them as a little squad, they just kind of pop and their armor pops. So from now on out, Greg's just going to use a little bit of, there you go, I'll show you what I use too. There you go. Just some Vallejo gloss varnish, and it's 100% acrylic resin gloss. And this stuff is what makes this shield do that. And you turn it and you can see it. So, I don't know. That helped me out. So that's what I'm doing with the rest of my guys. And this is not expensive either. And a little bit goes a long, 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 long way. So there you go. That's what I was working on with them because they were older models that I had that didn't come in an Indominus box. And so I retouched them up with the paint, just cleaned them up, and now they look pretty sharp. So I will be playing with those. I got another older group too that I'm going to do the same kind of thing with because I don't know. That's just what Greg's going to use. And then I'm going to take Mythos' advice and your advice, David, and combine them and see what I can do with my Templar because you can tell it eats at me. I want to look good, and it's been a little frustrating with that paint. So there we go. And that way it brings a little bit of life back into the older models too, because the Indominus set is so nice. The one thing, Mythos, I still have not had, I just haven't had the money, man. But I want to get an Invictor suit or the Redemptor. Probably the Invictor first. The Redemptor is more badass and can do more. But the Invictor just kind of adds to it, just be like a walking mech. And to go with my ground troops. So I was thinking I might do that one next. And see how that works out. So yeah, but I'm glad you guys like it. And yeah, you can always sell off what you're not going to keep from it, Dave. For me, the reason I got that issue 1 was this. Me and Clint or me and Keegan, people, if you go to a park and you have a setup, and people go, hey, can you run me through this? Well, I barely understand some of the stratagems. I just got a pack of data cards, so I'm not used to using all that. And Warhammer is, you know, a little complicated if people don't know it. So the reason I got that set is it come with those figures, the ruler, the dice, and that map. The map, like I took and just went and had it laminated, man. This is the map that come with it, double-sided, right? But see this size? You got two figures, and you can take this anywhere with these two guys, and you've got a game map. You got the ruler. You can show them, how it works. You don't need to have a complicated setup. Just a one-on-one fight will get it going, so they got the idea of what's happening. So that's why I went and laminated this, because why not? Look at how small it is, but it's plenty big enough to play on. And so I can take it around wherever and show people, hey, Greg, can you show me? Yeah, I can grab this. I don't got to grab these other totes with this entire army and try to scare them, because it is daunting a little bit. When I started doing it, I was like, what? Huh? And then you just get into it, and then they change it again on you. And so, yeah, laminating I like to do. But you know what this cost me at Staples was $3 frickin' to laminate it. So because it's a paper map, and it's not super thin, but it's not thick, and you've got that middle where it folds. What's going to happen when you keep opening and closing? It's just going to tear itself. So this, easy. So now, what did you say there? Are you going to get a front armor plate printed for the Invictor? Can I do that? If I can, I'll put GWC on there. I like what you just said there. If there was some sort of easier system, well, there are. You know that, Dave. There's tons of them. But if people are asking about Warhammer, last year when we were at the park, we drew a lot of freaking people, man. They're like, what is that? Because they're not used to seeing people at a park bench gaming. Most people at a park bench are smoking, eating food, or, just not doing much of anything. We had the map out and the terrain, and you guys seen that video. So it's, yeah, it would be awesome there, David, putting a logo on it, because it's like I did with my my turn markers for Star Wars. I just had Litco print them with our Gamers with Coffee on there, and we've got a lot of compliments on those. And they look cool. They're badass to put down, and it was just something. But so yeah, there's easier systems, but the basics with that magazine is, they were smart marketing wise, because they got you pulled into it. They threw all this overvalue into the first issue, knowing you'd probably get the second issue and so on. But when you pull people into something basic, and that's the psychology that they're using, if you look at it, is get you in. Here's basic one-on-one. Here's your basic turns and weapons, skill and stuff, and then they start incrementing. Well, by the time they're done with people, they're going to have pulled them into the world, and that's where they're going to make their money. So I see why they're doing it. On the upside, though, is you're getting a lot of value, it seems like, at first, and people who don't know anything about it, it makes it stupidly simple. It walks you through step by step. You roll the dice, you do this, then and so it makes it simple. And I think Warhammer could be simpler, to be honest with you, but there's accomplishment in learning a complicated system too, because it gives you kind of something to brag about. So psychologically, that company's got it going on. They know just how to keep that draw going. So good marketing. But yeah, the logo would be cool. So if I can get a plate for it, yeah, I will get it imprinted. But it's just, I have to choose between one or the other, because I have to kind of save for it. And I think I'll probably get the Invictor one, just because it's a mech looking kind of thing, more so than the Dreadnought. But the Dreadnought's more powerful, and that's it, because I really don't have a lot to add to my Space Marines. Like I said before, I'd like to get a couple things. One tank, I just want one tank. I'm not sure what one. There's multiple different ones, but and then they got that new Spartan tank they just released. But I have the servo turret. I have one of those. I have one of the buggies. I guess you can field up to 3, but at $35 a piece. And if you have 3 of them, that's $100 and something worth of models. And the one's good. I mean, it's got 8 wounds. It's nasty against troops. So for rolling out on the field, it's pretty hard to get around. Easy build redemptors. I don't know if the Primaris can fit in the Spartan. I don't know. You'd think if this tank they got come out, I mean, it's a big monster of a tank, and it shows them pulling the troops out of it. So it would have to be their current line of troops, and you'd think they would make room for you to put, like lieutenants and stuff in, because you've got the headdress and all this other stuff. So there should be room to put it in. But I can't answer that question because I don't know. I just don't know. You would hope so. You would think so. Oh, okay. Well, Mythos he knows way more about it than I did. So he says not unless they update the rules. Okay. So, well, from my understanding, Mythos, aren't they already updating some of this stuff? I mean, they're getting complaints all the way around about the Necrons reanimation, and then complaints about the railgun and all this and that. So, and from what I hear, they're changing stuff, because I was going to buy that compendium, but then I'm not going to buy something that spend $50 for a book to turn around and have it not be, I'd have to hand update it myself. Okay, so Dave asked, is it for the Horus Heresy? But Mythos says it's been around in Forge World Index for years. They haven't let Primaris in yet. Okay, so is more going to be transporting troops too then? Augmented as, I mean, it's a tank that's a transport also, is what it looks like. So. But we'll have to see. I just kind of wanted to round out my group, and then if there's another group to do, mostly focus on kill team squads, because kill team is a faster form of play, and it's just faster, but yes, the rule systems which I have, David, or some of them are easier. The problem is I notice you got different groups of people when they look at rules, right? And that's why certain games, like I constantly will go back to Wings of Glory. You've got a simple rule system if you want to be beginning or immediate or advanced. And the advanced part of it is, all sorts of problems with the plane, the pilot, and da-da-da-da. Or you can keep it super simple, or you can just continue to step it up. So there's games like that I think are good for people to start with, because if you don't have a background in how some of the stuff is played, it's hard for you to have a point of reference to draw off of. And I'm not familiar with everything Forge World has. I mean, so Mythos and Freak those guys are the predominant experts I've run across on Warhammer. So they know it in and out, and they got it pretty much going on. I am not an expert in Warhammer. I'm just having fun with it along with other games, but I am really nitpicky on how I paint it, though. For some reason, their stuff demands like that you do da-da-da, and I kind of like that to a degree, because it holds you to getting it done, and that's okay. But like I said, the tanks I have over here on the table, look at that. I mean, somebody put an awful lot of effort in it, shading that, doing this and that, and so we'll have to see. But a tank for sure I want to get. I wouldn't mind getting the Redemptor and the Invictor. I can only buy one at a time, and probably the Invictor, because it kind of goes with my servo turret, and the buggy, and these are things that can walk with and move with the troops um, as you deploy them more so, and tanks more heavy stuff. But I don't need a whole lot because that Indominus box gave me more than enough to play with. I mean, you can always expand the same army, but you know, I gotta have the time to play too. Like I've seen guys with thousands and thousands of points on some of these, and it's awesome they got to do all that work. I would simply never be able to put that much on a table and play because I just would never have the time. So we'll see how that works out then, David. I don't know, but let's see here. But we'll see, you guys. I'll let you know what we do on that next. And then Mini Warmutt's going to get with me and do a game. David and Mythos, we had to drag you into it. I don't see why all of us as a group couldn't once in a while just game with each other. We got the technology to do it. Like the $6 million man, we've got the technology. So why not do that? Maybe when I'm retired. You have to have money to retire, man. Yeah, sure. I don't know. But things are looking up, so things are going well. And sometimes money's tight. It won't always be that way. So it's all good. And just making do with what I have in the meantime, and getting having Joshua, my son, come back into doing the gaming again has been huge. And Dylan, his girlfriend, both of their girlfriends now have tried gaming. One's done tanks and one's done X-Wings. So now we got some more women that are interested in coming in. And I like that too, because there's a lot of women that want to play. They just don't feel like they can, but they should. I mean, they're pretty competitive. We could all live with Brian. David Hannock says, yeah, he's got a big gaming room. Yep. I don't know how his wife would feel, but we could just show up and say, hey, man, we heard you said tacos are here. Be me, you, and Mythos, and like 100 other people. And Mythos, you got Forge World 30K stuff. And you love a lot of their sculpts. I want to see some of your sculpts then, because I'm not really familiar with all the Forge World stuff. I'm not familiar with 30K at all. Not zero. So, but I sure would be interested in seeing some of that. That'd be cool. Maybe do something, post some pictures on your Instagram or something where I can see them. And that would just be good for you anyways, because then I could comment and thumbs up it or whatever. And yeah. But if you like their sculpts, see, some of the sculpts I've seen are pretty nice. But I'd like to see what you've got. And that's the whole thing with these models, man. Some of the details just cool. These people doing the artistic end of it have got a lot of talent and do very well on transitioning an idea from their mind to a sculpt, because somebody's got a hand do that before they go build molds for this stuff. And even if they're using computer generated software, the images before they make their molds, you still got to have an idea in your head of how it's going to come out. So pretty cool. That's what I like about this gaming industry. I mean, I played video games since Pong and Atari, and again, I've got nothing against them. Just I don't know, man. I have more fun these days doing this, and I'll get on there if any of you guys want to play Battlefront or Call of Duty or something. Let me know. I like the first-person shooters, situated in war-type environments. But I'll do that. I'm not a Fortnite player. I tried that. I'm like, yeah, no. But yeah, and that's why I like that radar tower I got. See, I'm going to use that kind of as like my own version of a domination type game, where you're gonna have to hold that radar station and it can be destroyed, and just give it a turn-based rounds, or you can do something with it. So things like adding that into the mix, I think, work too. And if nothing else, it was a good reason to buy it. Yeah. Gotta have a reason. So there you go. But yeah, you guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and head off here. It's heading towards 6 o'clock, and get dinner figured out here, get some things going. But thank you guys for your advice, David on the medium, and Mythos for that gray sear. I'll see if I can find that at my hobby store locally here and just try that, and maybe work on some of these Western miniatures in the meantime. Do I sound sleepy? Oh no, hell, I don't feel tired. Mealtime though, I got to get some food. Um, I'm not so much sleepy as I'm just super relaxed. Like, I got to spend time with the grandbaby today, and we had fun. And honestly, as goofy as that sounds and corny, that just meant a lot to me. It was huge for me to do that, and it pretty much made my day. So I'm really relaxed right now. I'm not sleepy though. Nap time, you don't get naps when you're older. I'd like to schedule those. You know, I've tried taking naps, David. It's just they find me under the desk at work, then I get woken up, then there's this whole write-up thing, and you get yelled at for not doing your job, sleeping on company time. So naps are a little difficult for me. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no. I'm sorry if I sound sleepy, but now I'm just pretty much content right now. Got a lot done with my gaming. And like I said, the baby just does it, man. Babies are cool. And there you go. I know, they are jerks, David. How dare they wake me up just because I'm under their desk? I got under their desk to stay out of everybody's view. But apparently that didn't work either. So, but yeah, I'm gonna give that paint a shot, and if not, I'll give that medium a shot. And if not, then I'll figure it out one way or another. Um, but most certainly, I don't want him to look the way it does now. So it's gotta do something different with that. And I need to pick up some more fine brushes. Um, a really good fine brush, that's hard to do. And everything's going up, man. Now it's not like, even at the hobby store, the prices on brushes are just going up and going up, going up, and everything's going up. So, but for sure, I appreciate you guys coming by. It's always fun. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys come by and say hi. And I'm glad I've met you all. I'm glad I can call you guys friends. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day with your laundry there, Mr. Annex, and enjoy your Dairy Queen and Mythos. I don't know. I know you get your prime rib and you have servants and you sit in a jacuzzi and you've got this whole other lifestyle I'm not supposed to talk about. But I'm telling you, be careful you don't fall asleep in your tub. Okay? Because I worry about you like that. You get too relaxed. So thank you guys for coming by. I'm going to let you go because it's heading towards 6 and I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for dinner because I'm a little bit hungry. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Let's get together and game, man. We got the technology to do this. It's that or I'm just going to have to show up at your doorstep. Actually, ironically, I could get to you, David, faster than I could get to Mythos. It's just the whole border thing. You know, I don't know. But yeah, I will catch you guys later. Check out that little TikTok I did. It just shows the sprue and some bottles of paint. You'll know you found it. It's like 32 seconds. And it's yes, more poutine. That stuff I found here was good, David. Good, good, good. And I didn't know that it didn't come with the onions like you said. But hey, it was good stuff, man. And I'll definitely go back because what's not to like about fries and gravy and smothered with cheese and stuff? I mean, yeah, there's nothing to not like. I'll catch you guys later, though. You guys have a good rest of your night, all right? Take care, you guys. Bye.